Hello, this is James Smith from GANanalysis.net. Today I want to talk about gold futures, the April contract. We're going to show you a concept for projecting the top. It's called 7 times the base. GAN believes strongly that every swing move could be divided into 8 equal increments. So if you assume that this is the start of a big move up, you can assume the first leg up is 1/8 of the entire swing move, and you add that base to 7 times the base in order to get the actual high. So let me show you how that works. If we take this low, and here's the swing we would normally do, but we're not doing that. We're actually trying to figure out, okay, there we go. The first leg is the base. And if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times the base added to the base gives you a target at 36.95. Now, what's nice about this you can see this was sort of a range. It was range bound. The first 1/8 move up, and when you broke out above that, you got a big swing move up. And this would actually be a 5/8 retracement of the entire swing move up. So, assuming we get to 36.95 and have a huge pullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, yeah, this would be 5/8. This would be your 50% retracement. We're assuming that we've already got to 36.95 and we're coming back to 23.70. Then that would be a 50% retracement. You probably wouldn't go back here, but it's possible. Now, what's interesting from a GAN perspective, it's not just the 50% retracement that matters. Every one of these lines matters, and they can be support or resistance. On the way up, this is resistance, and on the way back down, this will be support, this will be support. Now, notice, if you're noticing, look at this. This is actually now resistance. We haven't completed the move up, but it's already resistance because the market knows where it wants to go. We may not, but the market does. So if this is resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, maybe we're onto something. So what you can do when you're watching gold, if it runs up to 23.70 and it stops and it pulls back, that would be a place to take profit, and then when on the pullback to get back in. If it blows right through it, all right, so it's a really strong market because the 50% mark is hugely important. It is the most important retracement. And remember, this is 50% of a projected move. This hasn't happened yet, but it's still important. So it's a leap of faith. You're having to take a leap of faith. You're looking at the first leg up and saying, well, I believe it's going to 36.95. Maybe it isn't. Maybe we're using the wrong swing. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Now, this is even more interesting because you look at this 1/8, and okay, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/8 is the 50% division. It's half of the 8 increments. So this projects a target at 3,080. That's kind of cool because look at this. This is a high. This is a high. So we haven't completed the move, but already we see some symmetry. So we can look at this and say, hey, maybe we're going to 3,080. Remember that prior swing projection was 36.95, substantially higher. This would already be a big move up if we got to 3,080. But it doesn't stop there. Let's say we can project this, we can try different swings and come up with different results. We could even say, oh, well, look at this. This would be a 3/8 retracement of the projected swing to 2641. Pretty cool. And this one here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8 retracement of the projected swing. And look at this. This is a 3/8 retracement. So it doesn't mean that because you're doing 7 times the base that you know for certain where the high is going to be. As I've just pointed out, if you use this base, you get one result. If you use this base, you get a different result. And this base, you get an even different result, 2641. The other one was 3080 and then 3695. It's 3 different projections. Which one is going to be the right one? Well, we don't know. But if you believe strongly that we're starting a bull market, then one of those is probably going to be a high of some sort. And maybe they all come into the picture down the road. We don't know. But we do know that using 7 times the base, you get some sort of feel for where gold is going. It's probably going to 2641, maybe to 3080, and maybe to 3695. So depending on which base you project from. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's subjective. It's subjective. You're just pulling this out of a hat. Well, just realize that every time we project, we're getting hits. We're getting hits. We're getting hits. You know, we're using this 1/8 base and we're getting hits. The more hits you get, the more likely you're onto something. So you can pick which base you want to use and you'll get different results. It doesn't mean one is invalid and the other is correct. It just means that there's a kind of logic, an internal logic to the markets, and sometimes you don't know with absolute certainty which one is correct. But you have a pretty good idea that gold is probably going higher, especially in this case if you get above this former high. It doesn't surprise me that, you didn't get above it the first time out because, it's important resistance, that high here back in August 2020. So the first time up against it, you're probably going to fail. You come back, you find support here. And what would this be? What would this be? Well, in fact, it looks to me like this is a 50% retracement of the entire swing move up. So if this indeed is the correct base, that is an assumption, but if it is the correct base, then we just bounced off a 50% retracement of swing, projecting a high at 2641. Pretty cool. So if you find this Gann stuff is spinning your wheels, if your mind is spinning and you really want to learn more, well, I have an idea for you. A couple things you might do. If you subscribe to my service, I will give you sort of an active tutorial in how to use the Optima software. Optima is the best Gann software you can get. So you use that, you learn how to do Gann. But if you're on your own, it can be tough. I wish somebody had done this for me when I was starting out. But, you can slog through all the Gann books and you get an idea and you can actually learn how to do it on your own. But it's just a whole lot easier if somebody shows you real-time examples of, hey, this is how it works. This is what you do. Now, I'm just showing you one Gann tool. There are a million Gann tools. I'm telling you, there's more than you could possibly imagine. So if you subscribe to the service, you're going to see in real time different examples that I do videos with every report that I send you out a textual report, some charts, and then I do a video for those people who want to learn how to do it or exactly how I get my projections, etc. So if you want to learn square of the range, square of the high, 7 times the base, square of the low, all these different techniques and more, you will learn them by becoming a client. But even if you decide, hey, no, I'll just do it on my own, here's a tip for you. www.optima.cr. If you take the 1-month trial of the Optima service, if you type in this code, it'll give you a 10% discount. So, not saying you have to take my service, but you don't lose anything by getting a 10% discount. You actually gain something. And there's no obligation to me. You're just buying the software. Now, I get a small commission if you use this code, but you're getting a pretty big discount, 10%. And, it's not hard. Bob's your uncle. What's not to like? This is a good deal. But I strongly suggest if you really want to learn GAN, you need to see all kinds of examples of all kinds of GAN tools. And the GAN software, this Optima software, GAN Trader, it really, there's just a ton of, you'll see when you take the free trial, there's a tool list of just a million different tools. And, wading through all these tools on your own, it can be overwhelming. But if you take my service for 3 months, you will learn a lot. And maybe you take it 6 months, maybe you take it 9 months, whatever. You will, over that course of period, you're only obligated for 3 months if you take the 3-month trial. You could even take a 1-month trial. Maybe you learn it really quickly, and that's all you need. But if you do it for 3 months, you learn quite a lot, and hopefully the stuff that I show you will make you money in trading. So you have options here. You can take the free trial from Optima for 1 month. You don't pay anything, and then if you decide to take the service, you use this code and you get a 10% discount. And if you actually decide, hey, I really need some help on this, you subscribe to my service for a month or 3 months, whatever period you want. And then when you're confident that you can do it on your own, you just go for it. You're not obligated to continue with my service. You just learn all the GAN concepts and you go for it. But if one thing makes me a little bit happy, it's that I know a bunch of my clients are GAN professionals. They know the stuff. I didn't have to teach it to them. They still take my service. Because I think one thing you'll learn once you get into GAN, it's like feeling different parts of the elephant. Remember the tale about the 3 wise men, or the 3 blind men? They were trying to figure out what it was. One is feeling the trunk. He thinks it's a tree. The other one feels, part of the side. He thinks it's a wall. It depends on what part of the elephant. One is feeling the tail. He thinks it's a rope, right? So with GAN, it's the same way. You get different people that want to emphasize different aspects of GAN, and they all think they're dead right. They have found the secret to GAN. They know how to do it. Everybody else is wrong. Well, guess what? That's not real. GAN is, it's all consuming. I'm not trying to throw you off. I'm just saying, before you go down this road, just know it's going to take a little bit of effort. And that's where I come into play. I'm going to show you all the GAN tools on Optima, and you can choose which ones to use, which ones you like, and which ones you don't like. But I'm telling you, if you really get into it, it will blow your mind. Normally, when I send out a report, I will have 50, 60, even 100 charts in that one report. Now, I'm not foolish enough to think that my clients are going to look at all those charts, but they're there in case you want them. And if you're trying to learn GAN, it's helpful. And like I said, when I send out a report, I try to show you a GAN tool with each report so that slowly you build up some knowledge about GAN. And over time, maybe it takes you a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, you will learn a lot of GAN concepts. And if you do buy the Optima software, you can go ahead and do it on your own. And I'm hoping that even after you get up to speed on it, you'll still want to take my service, but you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. So I hope this has been helpful. You know, you've learned one concept here today, 7 times the base. And like I said, I'll teach you a whole bunch more if you subscribe to my service. And if nothing else, you should take a free trial of the GAN software. I think you'll find it blows your mind. This is a great software. So give it a shot, see how it goes, and good luck in your trading.